Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching WYTV. My name is Ahmed Abbas Olatunji. You're welcome to another edition of News Review. Today, Tuesday in the month of October. I love your outfit today, sir.
you know it's cold out there, the weather is somehow
exactly
cold. So you have to prevent yourself.
All right, Ambassador Ridua again on the studio with me this morning. And you know I will do it on News Review. This is where we talk about the headlines that made up the newspapers of today. And I'm starting with Punch and newspaper today. 2024, federal government plans 26 trillion naira budget, debt servicing to go up 8.25 trillion naira. Akpabio, behind my removal from Senate, Abo alleges. Israel-Hamas war. Putin demands ceasefire, Cardinal offers sell for hostages. Ogun Bank official flees with 1.97 million naira arrested in Oyo State. Then on Daily Sun newspaper, reps under fire for receiving 130 million naira SUVs each. Gombe police raid kidnappers den, rescues 2 victims. Again, inflation rises to 26.72% in September. Umba Idioha, others chart new course for party in Southeast. Then on Vanguard newspaper, PDP, Labour Party, fire federal government as cost of food items drive inflation to 26.7%. Federal government proposes 26.01 trillion naira for 2024 appropriation. EU leaders to hold talks on Israel-Hamas conflict. Kogi election opportunity for INEC to become born again. Dino Melai. Then on Daily Post newspaper, gunmen kill 9 members of local vigilante in Bauchi. Knocks on Akwa Ibom Assembly over controversial traditional rulers law. I have no reason to witch hunt you, Akpabio fires back at Senator Abo. Nasarawa Assembly Committee summons Governor Sule's aid over alleged palliative diversion. These are the headlines that made up the newspapers of today. Let's go on a short commercial break. Then when we're back, we'll talk more on some of the headlines. Don't go nowhere. Stay tuned.
Nokpa for management of power.
King Victor Nigeria Enterprises say make I give una this informate una with the sell foodstuffs, with the sell noodles, with the sell oil, and we the major distributor Honeywell, Golden Penny, King's Oil, Gino, and so on and so forth. Vanilla that is she sort of buy, you feed the collect market, they pay for ram small. Gbogbo àwọn tó ń bá wa dòwò pọ̀ àtàwọn oníbàárà wa náà jẹ́rìí wípé King Victor Nigeria Enterprises tested and trusted kò dẹ̀ sẹ́lẹ̀gbẹ́. Oya make una dey come to shop 2 Awolowo Market, Shagamu, Ogun State. As una dey buy una market, our motto don tanda gidigba to carry una load go una doorstep. And we no dey put extra charges. King Victor Nigeria Enterprises, fast and trusted.
Break, and we're still on News Review. Today we are going to be looking at the first headline that says that Ogun Bank officials flees with 1.97 million naira arrested in Oyo State. For a bank official to flee with this kind of amount.
With this kind of amount.
Yeah, that means
let me come in, because the money is not what she just carted away with at one time. You know, there are all these staffs of microfinance bank that when they give out loan, they will select some certain, they choose some certain set of people that will be going to there, at least collecting those loans little by little, that those loans will be remitted into there. I've seen many cases like that in which some of their representative that normally goes out to bring those loans back into the bank, at the end of the day, some of the loans were not being remitted to the banks that they normally feel like that. The main problem, or the person that I'm going to cast the fault on, is the branch manager of that place. Because I believe if you are the branch manager of a bank, you should be able to go through some of the records, even the old records of the bank, and most especially checkmate those people that you have been sending out to be your representative. You know, the lady in question has been stealing this money little by little before you could know that the money has accumulated. At the end of the day, she was unable to pay. That was the reason why she fled.
Well, basically, on talking about the banks, I need to know some things about how banks do operate, how they do the money of the deceased. Maybe you're using a bank and, you know, unfortunately the person died. And how his family members doesn't know his password or anyhow to get to his bank account. So I don't know how do bank do this, because it has been rampant. I have a couple of people like that loses so much amount of money to the banks. I don't know how did they do this kind of things, because now if you ask that, okay, we want to collect the money in the name of this so person, they will tell you to go and bring the next of kin or someone that is signatory to his account.
You are not even sure about the certain amount of money that is inside the bank.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, bringing death certificate, next of kin, or going through all those processes, you still need to get a lawyer. At the end of the day, when you get a lawyer, you pay some certain amount of money to the lawyer. When they now show you the bank, the balance of the person that you wanted to claim his money, you see that it's nothing to write off. You understand? And let me tell you this: when the system is corrupt, when the head is corrupt, the whole system is corrupt. Not until when we begin to fix Nigeria, not until when we see a working Nigeria, things will work. Wow. It started right from the presidency there.
Well, the Ogun State Police Command has arrested the credit officer of a microfinance bank, Esther Amidu, after allegedly fleeing with customers' contributions totaling 1.9 million naira. Punch Metro gathered that Amidu absconded with the daily contribution of the bank's customers, which spanned between March and December 2023. Our correspondent learned that a branch manager of the bank in Abeokuta, the state capital, who discovered that the contribution had not been remitted, reported the matter to the police. After several failed attempts to make the suspect remit the contribution, Amidu was said to have disappeared into thin air despite police efforts to arrest her. However, a source in the State Police Command, who did not want to be mentioned in print, said the suspect had been apprehended. While confirming the arrest to Punch on Saturday, the State Police Public Relations Officer Omolola Odutola said the suspect was arrested in Ibadan, or your state capital, on Friday. In Ibadan, or your state, yeah, that was where she was being apprehended. And for her to flee to Ibadan, I think she's just a learning thief. She's not an expert.
You know, I said it that the money. It is not that the lady embezzled the money at once. It was little by little.
Because it was daily contribution.
When the money now accumulated, seeing that she could not even pay, even her salary for the next 10 years could not even pay the money. That was how she flee. Even the branch manager of that bank should be sacked and should be held responsible. What was his job? To have waited from March till December before discovering that the money has not been remitted into. And when you look at our bank system today, the old system, you know, I told you, the old system is corrupt. Could you remember at the early 90s, 80s, when you take your money to the bank, your money increase. But of nowadays, when you take your money to the bank, your money is decreasing. When you transfer, let me say you transfer the amount of 5,000 naira, they deduct charges. When you transfer another money, they deduct charges.
Yeah.
And in the olden days, when you take your money to the bank, you expect some certain amount in return of what you are keeping with the banks.
Well, still talking about the lady that fled with amount that is worth of 1.9 million naira from a microfinance bank. I don't know how much money is the capital of the bank for you to abscond it with that kind of
About
amount of money.
1.7 something.
1.97 million naira. Well, she has been brought back to the police custody in Ogun State from Ibadan, where she was being arrested, and now she will confess to the crime. She could not even explain what she used all the money to do. She couldn't explain what she did with the money.
Do you know, Sidonje, a case like this happened to somebody who is very closer to me. All these microfinance banks, there is need for government to checkmate them. It's either the state or from the federal level or the CBN. A lady collected a loan from one of these microfinance banks. Then somebody was appointed. It was like a daily contribution. You need to be going to so person for the daily so we can retrieve all our money as the agreement that is being made between both the bank and the customer. Official. When the time now comes that the lady left the bank, resigning from the bank, all of a sudden the bank official came to this woman's shop to be embarrassing this woman that she has not paid the money. The woman had to go and look for her own passbook. That the lady you appointed to be coming here to collect the money has been collecting this money. This is assignation. Do she have to go to the bank to clarify the lady has been remitting the money? At the end of the day, the bank official was holding this woman responsible instead of them to go after their official. The official was holding this woman responsible that she's going to repay that loan.
Wow. That's too bad. I think the federal government should see to this to microfinance banks that we have in Nigeria, because talking about all this Kuda, OPay, PAMPay and all, at least they are really trying for banks like that to be an online banking and still, although they have their own disadvantages, they have their own way.
Exactly, because if anything happens to you, they don't have an office that you are going to trace them to.
And I think that even Nigerians are misusing the opportunity of this online banking too, because I have someone on my street that said he's owing OPay almost 150,000, and they do call him every time to pay his debt, but he won't pick their call because
how come they hold the banks up to that amount of money?
Well, let's go to the next headline here. The reps under fire for receiving 130 million naira SUVs each. We talked about this yesterday when we were talking about a man that came out that said bringing cars from abroad to Nigeria for government officials to use is bad, that we should try and promote the business.
What we manufacture here in Nigeria.
So now that the reps are on fire now because the federal government has made it mandatory that the car is not meant for their personal use, it is government's car. That after their four years tenure, you have to.
Another person will come in and say, okay.
Now the reps have been talking about why would they have to do that, because it is just an official car that is meant to be their own.
Is it bought with their own personal money? That you see this Nigeria, Sidonje. Let me tell you this: if we keep on talking, at the end of the day, nothing is going to happen because the whole system is corrupt. Not until when we have a good leader that is going to fix this Nigeria. And don't forget that I told you that a time will come that everybody will just wake up, we see that or discover that we don't longer have what we call Nigeria. You understand what I'm saying? For a rep member, honorable member that really want to serve the masses, I believe out of your salary, if the government is not offering, a lecturer that is being employed, according to what I said yesterday, a teacher that was being employed, do they really give the teacher the house allowance? Did the government provide a car for the teacher? Do they provide any social amenities for the teacher? You work for what you are going to do. You work for what will be benefit for you on your social amenities. Like a teacher now will work and buy his own car. Now, a federal government has said, with this present condition of this country, look at the amount of money
you want to use to buy
a car for all those senators. Can't they tell them to buy their cars by themselves?
From their salary, at least they are making money from their salary.
From their salary, even is going to be on loan. That they will be deducting it from their salary.
Exactly.
And you buy what's suitable for you for the business that you are doing, because you have turned Nigeria into business center.
Well, Nigeria is now a business center for our politicians. The body of the news says that the House had on Sunday admitted that each of the 360 lawmakers received a brand new SUV Prado totaling 57.6 billion naira, but claimed the cars were not personal gifts but the property of the National Assembly. Reacting to the development, founder of North Motors, a local vehicle manufacturing company, Ajayi Oluwatobi, said his company proposed his vehicles to the lawmakers and explained how it would be better, but they were rebuffed.
They won't accept it because they know that it is not in their own best interest. Can you remember this lawyer, senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana? Came on channels. I watched the interview that very day. He said a man came on to him that asked the company that is producing, manufacturing this prepaid meter, that he was looking for his help, how he's going to connect him with the federal government so that they can be buying from him. And he now told him categorically, frankly, that look, let me tell you this, federal government will not buy from you because they know that your meter are all originals. They will not buy from you. They will not patronize you. They will rather go and import fake meters that won't last long. That at the end of the day, when those meters are no longer working, they will set another money aside. That they say they want to go and import another meter. Because those that are in charge have seen it as an avenue to make money, to embezzle money.
Well, the National Assembly buying foreign-built vehicles at this time is dispiriting to grow the naira. A sad part of this is that we, assemblers and manufacturers of vehicles in Nigeria, actually proposed our vehicles and explained how it will make a lot of financial, technical, and political sense to buy from us, but they did not entertain the idea for long. How can you represent Nigeria but refuse Nigeria, especially when some of us have shown you that we would offer similar top quality at a better price? Why do you want to be seen driving a foreign brand when a Nigerian brand can offer you the same quality at a better price? No automotive sector can become successful without the support of the government. The Tesla we see today is the result of years of support from the US government. We want to create jobs, but export the opportunities to create jobs to the other countries at every chance we get, they said. Now, I see sense in what Oluwatobi Ajayi is trying to make here, because seeing government officials not supporting what is being made in the country, in Nigeria, and you are working for the country.
For the country, and you impose it on the masses that we must buy what is made here in Nigeria. Look at the issue of this rice. When President Muhammadu Buhari came on board, he had to close the border at the southern part of Nigeria. Then he opened the border at the northern part of the Nigeria. They're telling us to promote the locally made rice. At the end of the day, when those rice came out, it's not the rice is not affordable for the masses to buy. You don't understand what I'm saying. But when you go to the grassroots, go and check very well. You see that they are even the rice that they are eating at home is different from what they are telling us to go and to. They are getting it from. You understand what I'm saying? If the government officials are not patronizing what is being made in Nigeria, who else is going to patronize? Go to China. Even to their toothbrush was made with bamboo. Their spoon, common spoon, was made with bamboo. They don't import anything. Everything they are using in their country were those things that were made in their country. I think the problem we have in Nigeria is our leaders generally, because if you're talking about the federal level, talk about the lawmakers too. They are the one making laws and still not doing what is supposed to be done by them, because the citizens are looking up to them and we expect them on this particular issue of these cars. I supported the car dealers in Nigeria, talking about the producers of cars in Nigeria. They should be able, the government should be able to support what they are doing, as well as to give all citizens to patronize them too. Because if you see the president driving a car that is being made in Nigeria, we'll post it and what happened to the rest? What happened to the rest? They have no choice than to join. But since the president is driving what is imported from the United States of America, what happened to the rest of the have you ever seen a China president importing car from USA for his own personal use?
But I think the president should lead by example, so as other followers should do same way. Because now, if you are trying to abandon the product of your country and buying another man's, country's vehicles, that means you're not supporting the economy of our country. You are trying to
look at the amount of money that was set aside. taking it out there to go and buy those cars.
Billions of naira.
Billions of naira, bringing it to Nigeria. If those billions of naira, according to what the statement you read, that the one the man is offering them at least with an affordable price, if that money is given to this man, the money will be launched back into the economy.
Well, Nigeria is becoming a carcass and our political class is scavengers. If I were president of Nigeria or governor of a state, no government official would drive a foreign-made vehicle at government expense when we have local alternatives. That is one demonstration of patriotic leadership and commitment to cutting the cost of governance, is said. Yes, that's what we are saying. And let's move on to the next one here. The presidency and APC kept sealed lips on the attacks with the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, fingering increases in price of oil and fat, bread and cereals, potatoes, yam and other tubers, fish, fruit, meat, vegetable milk, cheese and eggs are the causes of the inflation spike. Now, PDP, Labour Party are dragging APC based on the fact that the cost of what we eat now in Nigeria is too much, and most of all these things are being sold to the masses, but them they got their own food from abroad. Some of them can even fly to London just to have lunch because they have the money and they are seeing the money. But for the masses, we are really suffering out here, and that is why Labour Party and PDP are dragging APC that, okay, you said you want to bring the renewed hope, but now see what you've caused with the removal of the fuel subsidy and how the economy has been inflated.
Let me come in, or let me chip this in. I believe with what I'm saying that APC doesn't have the solution to the problem of Nigeria. They only want to be in power by force, but they don't know what they are going there to do. For instance, if you could imagine, for good 8 years of the past administration, the administrative President Muhammadu Buhari, what was their slogan? They kept on blaming the past administrative. For good 8 years, our brother from that Iloni, brother Ali Mohammed, whenever he's coming out to address people, were due to the past administrative, based on their embezzlement. But you know it, you saw it. Why contexting that you are going there to fix Nigerian right? Now, let's ask, what was the dollar, what was the exchange rate when the former president was there, Goodluck Jonathan? The exchange rate was around 215 naira per dollar. How much was the bag of rice then? It was around 7,000 or 7,500 naira. How much is a bag of rice now during the administration of this so-called APC Renew Hope? The bag of rice is nothing less than 50,000 naira now. Do they really know what they are going there to do?
We should just call it renewed price instead, because
I have a brother in Australia. The brother said to me one day about 2 years ago, when he asked me to go and price to go and help him get the price of cement. I told him then the price of cement was around 3,500 now then. And in the morning, somebody told him it was around 3,000 naira. Then in the afternoon, he called me that I should go and price for him. I said, oh yes, sir, I made the price 3,500 naira. How come? He said somebody told him 3,000 naira in the morning. I said, you can ask another person to go and price. Or you call the person that you called in the morning to go and price for you. He now said, what is wrong with Nigeria? That he has been in Australia for the past 20 years. That the federal government control the price of everything, that the amount of money that they are selling milk for the past 20 years has never changed.
Well, that's in Australia.
That was in Australia. For instance, now, when you go to Australia, if they are selling milk around 200 naira, for good 20 years, the price of the milk has not exceeded. It's still 200 naira.
Wow. Well, the president has declined comments and referred Vanguard to the finance minister, Wale Edun, who could not be reached as he is currently in Morocco for the World Bank IMF Summit. Released on the day the world marked World Food Day, the Labour Party described the soaring prices of food and other items as a verdict on President Bola Tinubu's reign. just as its presidential candidate in the last election, Peter Obi, lamented that a vast majority of Nigerians now spend their entire income on food, which is hardly enough. The PDP said the report showed that the President Tinubu and the APC were not ready for governance. National Publicity Secretary of the ruling All Progressive Congress Party, APC, Mr. Felix Molka, declined comment, saying, "I don't have any information on that for now." Also, a presidency source declined comments and directed Vanguard to the finance minister, who could not be reached as he is currently in Morocco for the World Bank IMF Summit. Tinubu, APC, unprepared for governance. Well, according to PDP, the NBS report simply confirmed how unprepared the President Tinubu-led administration is for the task of governance.
Yes, if they have prepared, if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I'm a Yoruba man, I'm not criticizing him. Because I believe the way people came out when you were campaigning, they saw you as somebody who is going to bring back the glory of Nigeria.
Yeah, there was a massive turnout.
That was a massive turnout when you people were campaigning, when the president was campaigning. Then what was your slogan? Renew hope. That whatsoever that has been scattered, whatsoever that has been destroyed in Nigeria is going to be fixed. Now, let's go back to the drawing board. First subsidy removal. It is too barbaric and shameful to the spokesman of Ogun State governor to have come out to say that the video that went viral on social media on 25 kg of rice that was given to about 250 households in a
147 in that Shoke estate
in a CDA, that it was a political propaganda, that the opponent were using that one to spoil the present administration. In fact, it is a very shameful thing that the effort of the federal government, that this set of people want to jeopardize the effort of the federal government. That what the federal government said then was that the rice is the palliative was meant for the poor, for the poor masses. Now tell me, if it is meant for the poor masses, automatically your own work has not been done properly before distributing those rice. How? You ask me how?
How?
Now, you have the CDAs, we have chairmans,
we have councillors.
Let's forget about the councillor for now. You have the chairman for the CDA. The local government chairman will consult the councillor. The councillor will now consult the CDA's chairman. I believe there is a meeting that normally combines the CDA, which is called the CDC Central. You invite all the chairman for the CDA or the chairman for the CD center. Then in your own CDA, do you observe, or who are the set of people, bring out their names, the set of people that you think that we can give this palliative that you know that is very poor. That somebody lives in a GRA does not mean he's rich.
He's rich, exactly. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Those are the own work that they should have done. The list will now be submitted. Then the bag of rice will be given to the chairman of the CDA to distribute with the list. So when there is a meeting that is held in the CDA, these are the list and these are the bags of rice that was sent to so family.
I still want to look at this. Like, what about the census that was being done by the federal government? Because I feel this would be an easy way to use this the amount of people, the numbers of people staying in an environment in a community, to share the palliative.
APC government don't know what they are doing. They are not ready for it. If they are ready for it, palliative wouldn't have been the solution to the problem of Nigeria. Because now let me tell you this. Let me chip in this. When fuel subsidy was removed, fuel subsidy was not removed for the sake of the poor alone. It was removed for the sake of the whole Nigeria. We are all into it, both the rich, both the poor. Even the rich that can afford of eating 3 square meals will not get to the filling station. They will not sell for him at the rate of 1,500 now, exactly, because he's rich. Yeah. They will sell for the old masses at the rate at the rate of what they are selling the petrol price. Now, tell me, I do make the statement. Don't say I'm laying emphasis on it. If they know when they were campaigning, if they know how to go to our network provider, for them to have been sending messages to us that we should support them, we should vote for social party. Why can't they go to the CBN, ask for our own account? See, we are all Nigerians. We're entitled to benefit from what is coming from Nigeria. isn't it? The
Yeah.
lawmakers that are there today.
You know, talking about, I wanted to lay emphasis on the sending money to our account number. You know, we know how Nigerian network can be doing sometimes. You know, if they should say they want to send us money, and on the long run, we get to know that okay, the network problem did not let you see the alert, and so people will start complaining. They didn't say alert, oh, they didn't see there's nothing they could do than to just go to every doorstep, drop what they want to drop, and that's all.
They may not be able to go round, in the sense that when the palliative is being given out, there are some set of people that we call themselves a cabal that have seen it as an opportunity to make to enrich their pocket and their household, because there will be sentiment. We have APC governors all over the Nigerians that we have them in the majority than the PDP. Before you get to know, political propaganda will come in the sense that these are the set of people that voted us in. You know the politics of Nigeria now.
Well, the politics of Nigeria will not let the truth be unveiled. Let's keep on with the body of the news. It said National Publicity Secretary of the party, Mr. Debo Ologunagba, is in a telephone interview with Vanguard newspaper said, "We are not in the least surprised about the report. It is not particularly news that the prices of food and other items have pushed inflation to 26.7%. It also confirms that we have always told Nigerians about this government. When inflation climbed to double digits after the APC took power in 2015, we told Nigerians it can only get worse because the APC can't give what it does not have. Like the Muhammad Buhari administration before it, this administration has pushed more Nigerians further down into poverty."
Yes, let me come in. You know, you didn't allow me to finish my statement. When the president said the palliative is meant for the poor, is that not his statement? Now, our honorable members, the House of Rep and the senators, are they not rich enough to buy their own car for themselves?
Exactly.
You that contested for an election, you know how much you throw around. You know how much you bought the form to enable you to win the ticket for the election. So are you now telling me that money that is set aside for those senators for their private car or for their official car, can the money be set aside for the repair of our refineries? Let each senators go and buy. A senator that, okay, for instance, a senator that has almost 10 million to buy his ticket. Are you telling me that senator don't have money to buy his own car? That will be deducted from his salary. If they are looking at me now, they will say he's speaking rubbish. You may say I'm speaking rubbish, but I'm speaking nothing but the whole truth.
Well, an SUV Jeep for almost 360 lawmakers, I think, is not the right thing to do as we speak now, because the
Nigeria automatically they are the rich, they are robbing the poor to make themselves to enrich their life.
Well, the number of Nigerians living in extreme poverty, which stood at over 133 million, representing roughly 64% of Nigerians during the Buhari regime, as rising under Tinubu. Now, you know, to be sincere, this phone call that Vanguard had with the APC chieftaincy is just like a propaganda to me. No, to a PDP party, you know, a man spoke from PDP on behalf of PDP, talking about their own administration when Goodluck Jonathan was the president of Nigeria, and trying to, like, you know, put it aside with the president, ex-president Buhari's administration, and you know, he was trying to see Tinubu's administration just like the one of Buhari, that there is no change since APC got to the seat in the federal level.
Now, is there any change? Say it to the whole world since Buhari came in.
Well,
have you ever seen any change in this when Buhari came in, when APC got into power?
I want to talk about Buhari's regime. You know, during the COVID-19, that was 2019, Buhari really tried to, you know, disburse palliatives.
So are you saying those people that are in charge were the one that...
They were the one that made it
to me.
Okay.
You are a chairman of a company. You are the CEO. There was a signal, there's a message that is being carried out by your PM, or personal assistant. You told him, oh, this set of goods, oh, go and give it to the poor and the needy. Won't you monitor what you give to him? Won't you go round, according as the head of the company, won't you go round if those plans were being executed? Are you telling me if you have a company now, when you give out goods and their money is not coming in, won't you know through your bank account? Just tell me.
Well, I don't know. The country has been disturbed.
So automatically, if Buhari is sending people, if Buhari is giving out foods during the COVID-19 and the governors are ordering the palliative, he is the president of Nigeria. He has the right to sanction any governor. You remember Governor Yaya Bello of Kogi State when he was interviewed at a channel television. He said when they brought the palliative to his own state, that the presidency, from the table of the presidency, they said the palliative should not be shared, not until the president come and do the flag off of the palliative.
Exactly.
Is it a road construction that they wanted to come and do the flag off? To share palliative to people. That when you wanted to see the hand of people in your vote, did you come to do the flag off? No. Let's speak nothing but the whole truth. Let's bring ourselves back to reality. At the end of the day, he said he's not going to wait for the president to come and do the flag off of the palliative. He had to order the local government chairman, go and share. That was the instruction. Only one local government chairman refused to share. He said, go and ask him. That is saying that it belongs to APC. That it belongs to APC does not mean he will not speak nothing but the whole truth. It's like my brother Wike there in Abuja.
Yeah.
He's in PDP. And he doesn't leave PDP. And he's working in other APC. Based on what? Based on the trust and his work that the president has.
There's a difference between personality and...
we are talking about personality here. Let's forget about party.
Exactly.
So that the chairman of that local government that refused to share, he has the presenter. Go and verify what happened to him.
Well, still on what is going on in Nigeria based on the palliative that is meant, to subsidize the effect of subsidy removal to Nigerians. I want to put this in. I want to talk to the Mr. President himself, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I think he should have prepared himself before removing that was what is on his mind. Becoming the president of Nigeria,
he saw everything. He saw what is there. He has been in politics for long. I believe he should be able to do his own work on his round table before getting there. And immediately you get there, you know what you are going to fix first. And he saw what happened during the time of Buhari when the palliatives were being looted. Killing here and there, Fulani housemen all over everywhere. During the period of President Muhammadu Buhari, and President Muhammadu Buhari is not saying anything. Could you remember what he said on Twitter that makes Twitter to block his account? That he will talk to Nigeria in the language they understand. Automatically, if it is by violence, he will talk to them. A whole president of the nation. Well, in the comment section, Bajo Princess said, normally, even banks are low-key thieves, not to not talk of their officials. The government should do something about these bank issues, please. Our money are supposed to increase while in banks, but now it decreases. It's getting too much. Then a lady kept 150k in the bank after 3 years. Her balance was 0 naira. They said it was deducted for charges. That's Nigeria for you. Well, as I said, APC doesn't have a good plan to help renew Nigeria. We are still waiting for our own refinery till now, and no news on it yet. Well, these are the headlines we are going to be looking at today. Thank you so much, Ambassador Orilua, for joining us on the show today. All right, we'll see you again tomorrow. My name still remains Ahmed Abbas Olatunji. Join us again on another edition of News Review tomorrow. Be hardworking and be safe. Bye.